Grab your thinking caps, Wargamers, because today we are doing a quick hits on terrain. I got some items here that I've added to the Astra Tortuga. In fact, I now have 2 space stations because I also have another starport. Okay, it's actually the same terrain pieces, but I found a way to kind of double my pleasure. In the meantime, today is just an excuse to show you how I did some stuff. I wanted a little bit of extra terrain in the space dungeon. So real quick, what I did is I banged together just a few little things, and I wanted to show you how I did it. So we will start with these nice little control panels. Now I have 3 different sizes, and here's kind of how big they are. They're a little small, right? They're only waist high, so they don't provide a lot of cover, but they do give your dudes something to think about, something to jump over, something to have to move around. And the way I constructed these is very simple. Obviously, these are a couple of washers, and then the piece itself, I have a baggie here. And this is kind of my miscellaneous wooden bits bag. And I have used these guys. Now, you can get a bag of these for a couple of bucks at the hardware store. They're little wooden pegs, and what you do is, when you're building furniture and you countersink a screw, you stick this into the countersunk hole to cover up that metallic screw so that you just have wood. These are the perfect size and shape for giant mushrooms. You've seen these before in the fantasy dungeon, and I realized that they look like, kind of a TARDIS control. So all I did is glue that onto some washers and paint up. We'll see if we can get a nice little close-up here to show you the detail on the painting. I put a little, this is one of my secret ingredients. You see that little nub on top? To give it just a hint of third dimension. The way, obviously, this is all just paint for the little control panels, and then I painted it to a standard. Oh, there's a little diagram on there, so that it would look smashing. The secret to the little blue status light that sticks up there is this product right here. Scribbles, I've had this for years and years. This is called puffy paint. It is a texture paint that is made for fabrics. And yeah, it's a little shiny, but what's great about it is it dries extra thick. So I use this for all kinds of things when I'm kit bashing. Anytime I want just a little bump, I use it for rivets more often than not. It's already black. So once you've done your regular base coat over whatever your terrain piece is, put a little dab of this on, and then it takes paint right out of the bottle. So if you need to do a whole lot of little pop, 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 pop rivets, you can go really quick, really easy, and you have really fine detail. In fact, while I got you here, why don't I just show you exactly how easy this is. Here, we'll use a little popsicle stick. There we go. So there's your popsicle stick, and you squeeze out, and you'll see it's got a really high surface tension so that it kind of hangs there, and then you just drop it on, and look. See how that sticks up? And that's it. You got yourself a perfect rivet. See how tiny that is? Really effective way to get some minute detail on your kit bashed items. And if you don't like where you put it, if it's off by a little bit, you just wipe it. And you're off to the races. So I highly recommend get yourself some puffy paint. If you're any kind of kit basher, that is going to come in really handy. So there's your control panels, nice and easy. These are my power cores, which I painted in a dark blue. And again, I see these, same thing, these little rivets here. We're going to focus in. These don't have quite as much raised texture. I think one of these might be a little better than others. But yeah, see, just a tiny bit on top there. See that? Just a scotch. And then a little bit of silver on top. And when you drop this on the table next to your space captain, you've got all the texture you need. What about the power core itself? This little wooden grommet here is for holding furniture together. Again, you drill a hole that's just slightly smaller than this. You bang that peg in, and it like holds your bunk bed. It holds the top bunk on and keeps it from slipping around. I have used these. You can paint these any color you want. I have painted them in black and white, and I put a little marble texture in it. And again, all you need to do is put a couple of washers, a couple of extra washers on the bottom so that it makes it a little more stable. That's all you got to do. So there's your science fiction dungeon. These doors that we got here in the back, they're not great. I just cut them to shape, scored them, mounted them on a little piece of popsicle stick, and then you can see I hot glued it, and I didn't worry too much about the texture because I just wanted something quick and dirty. It took me all of like 5 or 10 minutes. And they look fine. They do the job. Little yellow porthole, and then to kind of give you an idea how tall they are. Maybe a little bit too tall, but they work fine-ish. Maybe someday I'll spring and pay the extra money for nice big, what would you say, factory-produced doors. But for now, I much prefer the personal touch. One last thing I want to show you. Told you this is going to be kind of a short one. We are approaching Ch'alt, and Ch'alt is a weird desert alien planet. And I have, let me go get him. I grabbed everything I could find from my bits box and just started slapping stuff together. I wanted to spend as little as possible. This here is, where are you, Captain? There you go, to show you scale. This is a small, what do you call it? Succulent, right? Plastic succulent. You can see how giant it is. This was only like $1 at the local Wally World. And I should have used 2 bases, a little bit bigger. It's a little bit wibbly wobbly. It works better on a hard surface than on the thing. But hey, for $3, a couple of washers that I already had, you know, a little bit of sand texture and paint to match the board, and now I've got 3 giant alien trees that don't much look like anything that you'd find here on Terra. So $3 I spent. And, you know, I don't count the stuff left over my bits box. And then I wanted to find something really alien to put down on this alien planet. Something to let you know that you're not on Earth. So I looked around and I was really looking for those gray aliens. You know, the guys with the big black eyes that are very interested in finding out what's inside the human waste disposal units. I couldn't find anything like that. What I did find is this big black sphere that doesn't do anything. Look at this thing. Look at the texture on this. You know, we could do without the break there. That's kind of my fault. This is one of those random toys where you don't know what's inside it. I thought, man, that's perfect. I'm going to drop that down. It's huge. Look how big that is. It cost me $3. So all total, I've spent like $6 on this terrain set. Then I painted it black, little dry brush gray to bring out some of these elements. It's something called, and you can find it yourself, Rocket League. And I kind of left that black so that as we're playing it doesn't show up so much. So it just looks like a big crashed alien sphere. Stuck some rocks from the garden. This is green scrubbies. These are my alien plants that I just painted with, it's not showing up too great here on the camera, but I dry brushed them with a brilliant blue. Like almost a fluorescent blue. And then I put a little like kind of, what would you call it? A little flower in the very dead center of it. And that's going to tie in with some of the other terrain pieces that we have. But as a bonus, and I didn't care what was inside it. This is one of those, you don't know it's a surprise. You open it up and you got to collect all 12. I was like, I don't even care what it is. Just let me get this sphere. There's a couple of holes. You could probably fill those in if you wanted to, but you can kind of see that little hole that goes through. I didn't have a problem with it. Again, all I did was I cut off the bottom so it wouldn't roll around. Super glued the 2 halves together. Spray painted it black, and I'm done. And I got a nice little centerpiece, a big piece of terrain to make my guys think about what they're going to do. Inside, to my delight, was this little science fiction car. Now, it doesn't really match anything, but yeah, take a look at that. That's perfectly in scale. I got one more car. Now, I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead. It's one of these guys. It goes faster on the floor. I may go ahead and just glue those because, man, he rolls like a champ. I may have to super glue these wheels shut so it stays in place. But look at that. For $3, I got a really cool centerpiece, and I got another car to add some color to the sci-fi city of the future. A little more terrain. What's not to love? So there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, call it 6 little terrain hits that you, 7, including puffy paint. There's the other thing you need. And you'll see all of these sooner or later if you haven't already Go forth thou and do likewise. Don't be afraid. Look for inspiration. If you can't find what you're looking for, you can find something that's just as good, if not better. Till next time, I'm praying for you.